Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin and Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing and Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the cage and whatever he's in. Face off Snake Eyes, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you some facts, tell you the plot. Hey, there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Travis.
And I'm your host, not Travis.
Oh, not Travis.
Yeah.
I already don't like you.
Is it because you like yourself so much, or is it because you like the opposite of yourself? Hate the opposite.
No, I'm a pretty good time. I wish more people were like me and just wanted to have fun and not work.
Oh, yeah. Well,
actually, we'd all be having fun and not working. That'd be great.
God, the more you're talking, the more I think maybe I am Travis.
Actually, I have the shirt you're wearing, so you could be me.
Yeah. T2. I'll be Travis 2.
Hey, nice.
Travis number 2. Travis Dose. Tito's. There it is.
Tito's is nice. I like that because it reminds me of a brand of pizza I enjoyed as a young guy. And also, people would call me T squared growing up because my first and last name start with T. And so T squared is also an option if you don't want to stick with T2. You could just be T squared.
Huh. Well, I mean, but that is your nickname. Like, I feel like I'd be really...
bestowing it onto you. I feel like that's kind of a badge of honor.
Oh, wow. T squared. That's I mean, T-Dose sounds a little better than T squared. Being
like
honest.
if someone started calling me Kevin Fat Tits, I would feel honored. I'd be like, oh, just like Kevin.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
Whoa. Hold on a minute. I mean, I do have some adipose tissue there, Travis, but like...
Oh, I just meant that's what you're into. I don't know why they give you the nickname. I don't know your life.
That was what they called me for most of my grade school days and college. And
is that because you have those top sloppers?
Well, no, it's the tattoo that says that on my chest. It's
yeah. So say I've never noticed it, Kev. You hold them well.
Oh, thank you.
You hold them well.
Yeah, sports bra. That's
great. That's wonderful. Yeah, hey man, speaking of holding them well, I need to tell you about our bud, about our uncle.
Hey, I am actually glad you brought that up, Travis. Haley, our president, CEO, and overlord here at Uncle Doug's DVD Bin.
I can't wait for her to find out that she is that.
She is, yeah, it's true. She asked me to look into something with you, Travis, because you have been very uncomfortable and like tense around Uncle Doug. Now, some of it's respect, obviously. Some of it's respect.
Oh, yeah.
But you just
genuine fear. Yeah.
You missed the first few movies and didn't watch them with Uncle Doug and I just... She wants me to get to the bottom of it, so I figured right here on the show would be the time to ask you about it, not confidentially, so we could actually exchange emotions, because that's uncomfortable for me. So if you could just tell me right here and make it content, what's going on between you and Doug, that'd be great.
Oh, and make it content, sure.
Yeah,
dude. Let me tell you what happened. I've been kind of holding back on this because I know he's in this new relationship, and I just don't want to ruin things for him. I'm just trying to keep the peace. But the Daytona 500 a couple weeks back, you remember?
Oh, heck of a race.
Right, a little bit before we started recording episodes for the season, I was over at Doug's. I was over in the trailer.
Yeah.
And we were in there, we were hotboxing and carrying on. And then all of a sudden, during commercial break, he says, "Hey, let me see your phone." Which, I don't normally like to give Doug my phone, because as soon as it goes dim, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to use a phone.
Oh, yeah.
Or he'll take it and just run out and start taking pictures of his peppers out in his garden. I'm like, no, these are on my phone. Now you can't see them. All right, why did you do that? You should just learn to draw.
Maybe he's proud of his peppers. I don't know.
He is. But he takes my phone, and I think, it's a little early in the year for pepper picks, but let's see where this goes. And then he comes back about 10 minutes later, and he goes, "Here you go. Let me know what she says." And I didn't think anything of it. We kept watching the race. Huh. I ended up leaving before it was over, like I always do, because I like a good mystery. No idea who won. Don't care. But I had fun. Then I get over on the couch late at night getting ready to go to bed. I'm scrolling through. I got 7 unread text messages from a number I don't recognize.
Huh.
And I click on the conversation. I scroll up. Kevin, you're not going to believe this. Doug.
Huh?
Doug was sending dick
Whoa!
pics.
Whoa!
With my phone. With my phone.
Travis.
I've seen his gonzo.
Oh my God.
It's incredible.
Okay.
You know that part of the sink that were kind of lips, like he covered the whole part, the shadow he cast.
Oh Jesus, God. Okay, all right. Look, Travis, this is a family podcast. Is it possible? Look, was it maybe a pepper? Could it have been a pepper?
Not even a pepper for scale. That's what has got me bothered. I don't really understand the size of what. I understand the gravity of the situation and that I now have 3 pictures of my uncle's wiener on my phone. But guess what else I have? His girlfriend's phone number. Oh. And she did set her messages were very I don't know. She's a proud lady, let's say.
Like in the affirmative. That's good.
Yeah, good for Doug. Bad for my phone and my eyeballs.
What troubles me is you haven't deleted them yet, Travis.
I mean, why would I? Why? I got this little piece of Doug with me all the time.
Like for
technically a big piece.
Wow. I'm not sure. Haley is also.
But no, really, blackmail. Okay. Blackmail. I could always use it for blackmail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just gonna pretend that this is not because listen, I don't want to have to take this back to Haley as she is also HR, and let her know like this whole sitch. So if we could just
we got to start paying her.
Well, let's not get crazy. Let's not. I mean, we did give her the podcast. It's really on her to make some money out of it. Not, that's not fair. On us. Man,
But yeah, that's crazy. So it's awkward now. I don't want to go back over there until I can kind of get past it.
What are you going to do? The Bristol race is coming up.
That's what's worried me because we haven't missed a Bristol race since 1997, and that was because I had the flu.
Oh, wow, man. Yeah. Hopefully he just keeps his Mark Martin in the pit area, if you know what I mean.
I hope. I'm wondering how he's getting them to her now because he doesn't have a phone. I wonder how many guys he's sequestered. Being like, hey, let me see your phone. Like, how many guys out there have pictures of Uncle Doug on their phone now?
I mean, he uses my phone all the time, and I just.
Well.
I guess I'm in the club.
Cousins forever.
Anyway, Travis, moving on to something that doesn't involve crotches at all. I
not at all.
Seen the movie Labyrinth before.
You hadn't seen?
No.
Really?
Oddly enough, this is my wife's favorite movie, and I'm an awful husband. I never watched her favorite movie with her, which is a shame, because I got to tell you, this movie's great.
Yeah, I had honestly never seen it either, so it sounds like you and I probably watched it for the first time just within the last couple of days, and personally, I was pretty impressed with Tina Turner's schlong. I thought it was huge in this.
That's David Bowie, Travis.
Nah, look at if you squint long enough looking at the cover, that is Tina Turner.
Now, listen, when I say my wife is a fan of this movie, she is a super fan of this movie to the point where I actually had to ask her to leave the room while I was watching it because she was mumbling every line of the movie to herself as we were watching it. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Kevin, no, she's just saying like the quotable ones. No, dude, she knew the inflection of Ludo's moan when he would moan.
That is adorable,
oh my
dude.
God, it was, but also very obnoxious at some point. And and so I was like, yeah, you gotta get out of here. And she's like, okay, all right. And then she just sort of.
But then she's just on the other side of the door, still
she
mumbling.
was in the kitchen washing dishes, saying the words to herself again. She loves this movie, and I also now love this movie. I'm so late to the party.
Are you saying that out of are you obligated to say that?
No.
Is she behind you?
Yes.
Come out if you're there.
3 times, Travis. That means I need help. But I would dunk on this movie so hard, knowing that she likes it, because I'm a terrible husband. But I actually did really enjoy this movie. I think it actually, as far as 80s children's movies, has replaced Neverending Story for me. There, I said it.
It replaced it. Wow,
I like this better.
It doesn't quite do that for me, but I could see, same ilk, same flavor. I think in a lot of ways. I'm not mad about it. I'm surprised. But what do you think Doug thought of the movie? Because I didn't get his. I wasn't there to see it.
Well, so Haley was there watching it with us. Also, yeah,
weird.
She's, like I said, she's invested in this project, and so we were watching it. And what was even stranger to me about it is that Doug was like, you know what, I can do that trick with the glass balls. I was like, no way, Uncle Doug.
There's no way,
Uncle Doug. He went. And he didn't have any glass balls. All right, he didn't,
of course. Where would
why would he have
why?
those? So he took a couple of beer bottles out to the grinder in his garage. You know, that sort of shed off the side there. And somehow he came back in, grinded these things down to make little, like, jagged glass. But the bottom of it was a ball. And he's like, watch this. And he could do the twirling trick to it. In fact, he peeled a melon with just broken glass bottles and ball turning.
He's a riot at parties, which is why he's not allowed to mini. But that is so Doug.
You know, the thing is, never even ash the cigarette in his mouth.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
It was incredible. So I think he likes it. I think he really enjoyed it. Seemed like he got a lot out of it, you know?
He loves a good ball trick. What can you say?
He does. Well, man, I'll tell you, that's a lot about Uncle Doug. How about a little bit about this movie, The Labyrinth we're covering, man? It's release date, June 27th. 1986. Now we have.
Of course it's 1986. Of course it is. 4 straight movies. What do you got about 1986? Is this another Doug thing? Did Doug front load the bin?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening. We have pulled the next movie out though, and I can tell you it is not actually a 1986 flick.
That's true.
We have broken the streak, but there's some Doug Stradamus stuff going on there. Well,
Doug Stradamus.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the director was Jim Henson, of course, the incomparable. Writers Dennis Lee, Jim Henson, Terry Jones, starring David Bowie, obviously, Jennifer Connelly, and Toby Froud.
And David Bowie's crotch.
Okay, can we... is this the point where we should address David Bowie's crotch like we're Hoggle begging for forgiveness?
Yeah, I mean, most of the reviews that I pulled brought up the crotch, and I'm going to bring it up a lot, and he brings it up a lot. So
listen, I'm just going to tell you this. Because this movie, that particular aspect, shall we say, had been memed to death with this movie. I was expecting 90% of this movie to be David Bowie's crotch, so I was sorely disappointed. I was like, there's not enough of it. Like, I thought there was going to be way more of David Bowie's crotch in this movie. Turns out, just an average amount, maybe slightly above average.
Slightly above average. Kev, what are you packing over there? That thing.
Now,
Lord have mercy.
No, I mean,
he could add 3 or 4 ribs on him and never touch it.
I just meant as in terms of its screen time, not its dearth, girth, or size.
Oh, not its screen length?
Exactly,
gotcha.
Yeah. Strictly duration. So I was a little
I don't want to be like just another, person, like an average guy. But I couldn't stop looking at it when it was on screen. And I wasn't even trying to be that guy. I was like, come on, let's focus on the movie. We got to do a podcast. Come on, focus on the dialogue. And I was just beaming on it. Cast a shadow.
You'll remember it in your darkest of times. That'll somehow pull you through or off. I'm not sure which. Now, I have actually a little tidbit of information for you instead of a more moderate tidbit like David Bowie's. Did you know? And I happen to know who your celebrity girl crush is. It's Marissa Tomei. Was actually
that's right.
Yeah, she was actually up for the lead in this and lost it to Jennifer Connelly.
Interesting.
How about that?
I'm curious because there's only like 2 movies I know Marissa Tomei from. I knew her mostly from magazines, but
why did that sound so creepy?
But no, like My Cousin Vinny. So that was like early 90s or maybe even 1990s. So this is 4 years earlier. I'm trying to think, would Marissa Tomei have been as young as Jennifer I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know that I've seen Marissa Tomei younger than she is in My Cousin Vinny. So I don't know what that'd be like.
Her, Sarah Jessica Parker, Laura Dern. I mean, there were some big names that auditioned for this, but Jennifer Connelly came in and just knocked it out of the park. Also, alternate casting for Jareth, the Goblin King. They considered and really wanted Michael Jackson.
Oh, that would have been a different flavor of movie. So yeah, it would have been weird.
Yeah,
it would have been
totally
weird.
different movie.
Totally different.
I'm glad it was David Bowie. To be honest with you, although Michael Jackson.
For some reason, I thought you were going to tell me it was going to be Emilio Estevez. I was getting excited for no reason.
It was Patrick.
Because I want him to
Swayze.
be like. I want it to be that Emilio Estevez turned down every awesome role in 1986 and it said yes to Maximum Overdrive. That's what I want to be real.
That would have been incredible. That would have been. I mean, that would be a better. Like, you could make a mockumentary about that. How he turned down all of these epic roles just to be in Maximum Overdrive. But unfortunately, no. They really wanted an actual musician for that role. So they had, obviously it went to David Bowie, but they thought about Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson, Sting. So there were quite a few people that they went through before they landed on the Boaster.
Wow. It's interesting. Now I kind of want a version of the movie with all of them.
I know. I think Sting would be the best. Like, outside of David Bowie, who obviously that's the choice cut, right? But I do think Sting could have brought something interesting. He would have been more, serious about it,
I think they could have really just used Tina Turner and not had to buy a wig.
Yeah, that would have been incredible. She's good, man. But she'd have to leave a good job in the city for that, so...
That's true. Yeah. She could just be the same character she is in Mad Max in the Thunderdome.
Oh, that'd be... I'm in. I am in. Well,
any Mad Max in the bin? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Travis, how about a little bit of that 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
All right. Well, speaking of my man, Emilio Estevez, apparently he's my man now. I don't know. I brought him up every episode. He was in Young Guns, too. That's a great little series there. There's no 3 of them, right? It stops at 2. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. The day before the trilogy really took over there.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, he's in Young Guns, too, with a one. I know this is. I found this one for you, Kev. I know how much you love James Coburn.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, from The Maverick. You remember that episode way back? So Emilio
Estevez, Magnificent 7 as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. So he's been, he's basically a Patrick Swayze to this podcast. He's been in at least 2 movies. But Emilio Estevez was in Young Guns 2 with James Coburn. James Coburn played himself in 1979's The Muppets Go Hollywood, which, of course, involved Jim Henson's Muppets. Look at that. I connected Emilio Estevez to Jim Henson, as you do, as one does.
Man, that's that's impressive. I actually am normally not very happy with these, but I think I like the way you wove in creator and puppets, and it's just you get bonus points this week. I'm writing down Travis gets bonus points for this episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What happened? Does Haley do something now? She seems to do the stuff.
Yeah. If we get enough bonus points, she'll actually get us a case of McUltra.
Oh,
yeah,
that's wonderful. All right,
that's not bad.
Great. Yeah. Well, how about some preview reviews?
I think that'd be a fantastic idea. In fact, we should do that every episode.
Yeah. And that last segment was called The 6 Degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we're never going to explain what it means again.
Nope.
All right. People who loved it, okay? Now, I will preface and say a lot of these are about David Bowie's crotch, which we've already talked about, and we will talk about again. So if you're already tired of it, that's tough for you because it's not going to stop. So we got 5 stars here from Jeannie. Now, the Jeannie, this is just a nice review, Kev. This is just a sweet review. Listen to this. This is from Jeannie. This is from November 2020. Actually, November 13th is on my daughter's birthday.
Oh.
My daughter's 2 years old when Jeannie watched this movie. She says, this film introduced me to the 80s, David Bowie, my favorite song of all time, and cinema in general. And I remember hosting sleepovers as a child just so I could make sure each one of my friends saw it at some point. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, my God. Did my wife write that review?
Maybe. Her name Jenny sometime?
No, that was a very sweet, wholesome, and I wish I'm a little bit like that with board games, and I guess you are with video games. It's like you like something so much and you just want to share it with people, and then sometimes they're like, okay, bud, you're coming on a little strong. Just dial it back a little bit,
I know how that feels. You should see me introduce this podcast to strangers. They don't like it.
I have seen you do it, and it's very uncomfortable. I'm like, Doug, do you want to just take my phone and get out of here?
So that was the only 5-star I'm going to read here in the preview reviews, because let me tell you, people that had a lot more to say used a lot more spoilers. So saving those for later.
Oh, okay.
But we got some people who are meh on it, but also vague. Like, for instance, we got 3 stars here by a Josh Larson. That's his real name. Look him up on LinkedIn. He says, let's talk about David Bowie's crotch. 3 stars. All right, just starting soft there.
Yeah,
technically.
Yeah.
Then we got another 3 stars by someone who just goes by an emoji envelope.
Okay.
Or an envelope emoji, I should say it in the right order.
Okay.
This is from October of 2022. He says, I love the 3 main stars of this movie, Jennifer Connelly, David Bowie, and David Bowie's bulge. He has got 3
Again,
three
for
hearts.
a star, it didn't get enough
stars.
screen time for my money.
Yeah. All right, fine, fair. That says a lot about you. And then we got another 3 star from Coffee. This is from September of 2022, and they say, having never seen this, I thought that the memes about Bowie's bulge being super noticeable were just a bit. But no, it's like practically the center of attention. He got his whole shit on display right there.
Again, maybe I have a childlike innocence, but I just was not paying that much attention to his wiggling accusation finger. In my mind, I was like, I can focus on a great film and not be so distracted by that thing because I am a grown-up.
Yeah, sure. You take that stance.
Mm-hmm.
Would you watch it with one eye closed? All right, here we go. We got people who are low on it. Here we got 1 star from Jack. This is from January 2022. Jack says, I'd rather die of syphilis than give this a rewatch.
Wow.
We took a break from the bulge for a second at least, but we brought syphilis into it.
What could he have not liked about this movie? Fun, creative, jamming songs, heartwarming story? Like, why does he hate everything? Is he okay? You know what? I have heard that in the old days, syphilis, they didn't have such great treatment for it, and it could cause a man's mind to rot. So, like, maybe that's what's happened to him, and we should all pity him and feel sorry for him, and maybe just try to be a little kinder, a little nicer to each other.
Instead of syphilis, maybe he should syphil more, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
then we got one.
No, I disagree. I think he needs syphil less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then we got a 1 star from Amy Lee.
Hold on.
I think is the lead.
Wait,
what?
Son of a... You think your syphil more joke was better? Get out of here.
Well, syphilis seemed too obvious. I would syphil more.
Yeah, but he needs less of it, right? If it's rotting his brain. So, I mean, sometimes the obvious joke is the best joke, Travis.
What about syphil more or less? Here we go. We got 1 star from Amy Lee, who I believe is the lead singer of Evanescence. Hello,
God,
Amy.
I love her music.
Yeah. Yep. February of 2021, Amy says, David Bowie's bulge traumatized me. Sobbing emoji. So the bulge is back. And that's all. That's all the reviews. Mostly bulge. Mostly bulge. Isn't it kind of weird for Jim Henson to put all that money into all of those puppets and shit that's on screen, and the only thing that people are talking about is Bowie's Muppet in his pants? He's like, I didn't even make that one.
It's strange, but not surprising.
He should have made a Muppet with a big dick.
I mean, there was a couple with like big noses that were sort of suggestive, so like maybe that's kind of in the
Gonzo.
Gonzo,
Gonzo's swinging.
Oh,
a bruiser.
Faux show. I don't know. Maybe it all went to his nose though.
See, that's what I wonder sometimes.
Yeah.
I wonder a lot.
How often do you?
I do a lot of
that?
wondering all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's why you don't sleep so good anymore, huh?
It's not. I got that Muppet bulge on the mind.
You just wake up in a cold sweat, kicking away the blankets. Oh, what about his nose?
What about it? What does that say? The hands are nice too. He's bound to have a banger down there.
You know, you're trying to have a nice dinner with your family, and next thing you know, you look down and your mashed potatoes, and you're sculpting Gonzo's nose. You hope. You hope.
You hope. I keep saying it's Gonzo's nose out loud just to be sure. It's Gonzo's nose.
Everybody, it's okay. It's okay. You look around. Your family's already left you months before. You didn't realize it. You were so absorbed in just mashed potato. Gonzo nose sculptures. Anyway, guys, how about some of that plot, huh? We could do that. You ever done that one on this one?
Give me a little bit.
All right, I'm going to give you a little bit, man. How about those opening credits, which consist of the worst CGI owl of all time and some ripping guitar solo?
We did not need the owl. We spent so much money on puppets and practical effects and farting holes in mud. And then we can't We have to put like a CGI'd owl? Why? We didn't need that.
Like
Would George Lucas do this?
They could have done like was this added afterwards? I guess I should ask my wife if this was added to like a DVD special feature or something that we weren't aware of. But, bad CGI owl. But that guitar solo, it's ripping, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's got that
hits.
80s, like, just like some emotional, just while my guitar gently weeps goodness. You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, that's the opening credits. That goes on for a while, and then we get a cut to Sarah. She is doing lines from a play, or doing her lines in the park. Now, this isn't no piddly Southwest Virginia park, Travis. This is a nice looking park, man. They got like swans and stone bridges and like an obelisk. They got an obelisk. Everybody.
When I see a place that has an obelisk, I'm like, what is this, Russia? This is amazing.
This is upscale.
Yeah, it's nice. A lot of obelisks over there was my point. But yeah, it is nice. It's nice. Big goose, the swan, maybe? I don't know, fowl.
And an owl. An owl's watching her. Now, she is doing lines from this, we think it's a play called Labyrinth, right? And she messes up the lines. She can't remember them. Spoiler, dear sweet Travis. These are the same lines she's going to say in the boss battle at the end of the movie against the Goblin King. Just so you know. It's going to come back around. Now, she realizes, oh no, it's late because the clock starts at chiming, and she's an hour late to get back home. So her and her, I believe it's a bearded collie, possibly an Old English sheepdog. I'm not sure which. I do know his name is Merlin. Exit the park at haste as it starts to rain.
Yeah, and you already, maybe that was supposed to telegraph that she's a little over dramatic by having her start out practicing a play. And you're like, maybe she's the type of person to just go whack-a-doodle when things don't go her way. We'll see.
Well, I have a little bit of this as a very thinly veiled metaphor of her as a sort of person that, due to the death of her mother, is in this kind of arrested development state. Like, she's not acting like a normal 16-year-old, quote unquote, and that she's wrapped up in all these fantasies. She's very obsessed with toys and that sort of thing still. So I think that ties in a little bit with this. So they head home. She was supposed to be, they also run in the rain to David Bowie, which is a freaking great way to spend an afternoon. Once they get back home, her stepmom, laying down some wicked stepmom energy. She's like, I'm sorry, the cute dog. This dog is very cute, guys. Can't come in the house because it's wet. It's got to go in the garage. Yeah, he looks like
a dirty mop. He's got to put him in the garage. Come on. That's not her. Come on. Let that dog dry up.
Oh, man, that sweet baby needs to come in the house and lay on the couch.
Look at that nice Reagan-era home. You don't want to get a dirty dog in there all mopping it up.
Man, you know what? Stepmom does have that straight-up Nancy Reagan hair.
She does. I was just thinking the pearls and all. When I said Nancy Reagan, I looked up and I was like, did she just appear on screen?
But like,
magic?
I can see as an adult, like, when you're a kid, you're watching this, you're supposed to think the stepmom's kind of bad, but her stepmom's actually really nice. Like, she does, like you said, we don't want the...
She has rules.
Yeah, she has rules. And she says to her, hey, we really just need you to babysit. You're an hour late. I mean, Jesus, where you been? We just need you to babysit tonight so we can go out to dinner. We tried to schedule around your plans so we don't mess your plans up. And she's like, well, I might have had a date. And she's like, I wish you would have a date. Like, I wish you would act more like a child that's 16.
You were like 16 and you weren't like upset that one of your stuffies was missing.
Right, exactly. Because that's exactly what happened. She's so mad that she has to babysit her little brother, Toby, who, by the way, is played by Brian Froud's baby. This is Brian Froud's baby. Now, Travis, you're like, who's Brian Froud, Kevin?
He's the costume designer.
No, he's not.
He's the prop man.
Nope, a little bit. He is a sort of character designer. He does a lot of like fantasy fictional characters. Again, because of my wife's love of Labyrinth, Brian Froud is quite huge in our house. He's got quite a few books. If you like fairies, goblins, and mythical creatures and artwork depicting them, you should investigate Brian Froud.
I will. But my wife and I, we watched this together, and mid-movie, my wife Googles this kid because she swears he has to be traumatized. And it turns out he's just following in his dad's footsteps. So I guess he is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hang out with goblins long enough, So she heads up to her room, and exactly as you said, Travis, she's in a huff, throwing a tantrum, straight on tantrum. We see her sitting. I do want to just highlight as she goes in her room, you see all of the things that you're about to see play out in the movie. You see a doll of Hoggle. You see a doll of Ludo. You see a Labyrinth maze. And then you see pictures of her mom with David Bowie as the Goblin King on her dresser. And you get the sense that her mom was in this play about the Labyrinth, right? Perhaps with an actor that looks like the Goblin King Jareth, all right?
I thought she was a groupie and that she left the family for a better life on the road. That's what I thought. You're making it make sense to me in this moment.
I mean, possibly, man. I mean, Bowie was definitely pulling a lot of housewives in that.
She's like, just tell her I'm dead. Just tell her I'm dead.
Well, anyway, so you kind of get this look around her room. She notices one of her stuffies is missing, and she goes into her parents' room, where I believe Toby's crib, that's what you call those things, is.
Crib, yeah.
And he's having a cry because he's a baby and he's by himself and he's scared and alone. And there's a whole bunch of kind of back and forth that happens here as she starts to, what I would say, wake the goblins up. So she picks him up and she she tells him a passive-aggressive story about their life together, which is pretty fun. She's like, yeah, I'll tell you a story to relax you so you can go back to sleep. My life was great until you were born, you miserable piece of garbage. She doesn't say that, but it's like...
It's pretty close, yeah. She's actually, I was worried about the baby in this scene. I was like, does Jennifer Connelly kill this baby on camera? Did they have to get a second baby?
Yeah, at least two babies. That's why you always cast twins, you know? So she starts to say the words and which are like, hold on, I wrote it down, the crucial phrase.
Far away from me. Get away.
Okay, that's just what girls told you in high school, Travis.
Oh, my bad.
So she says, what the actual phrase she has to say is, I wish the goblins would come and take you away right now. Seems like a long sentence, but okay. And she kind of keeps messing it up, but as she's starting to say that, it's cutting back and forth to these goblins who are in a dark place, and they're starting to wake up. And again, I didn't tell you, I had the sort of fan idea or fan fiction or theory that she doesn't actually go to the labyrinth. There's nothing magical. This is all just playing out in her imagination as she copes with her need to kind of grow up a little bit and to accept her mother's death and move on from grief. And this is her way of kind of coping and trying to move on. And I expressed this to my wife, and she's like, you shut your filthy mouth. She goes to the labyrinth. It's real. And
she thinks it's real.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
I like it. It's sure. A metaphor. I'm pretty sure it's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor? Yeah. Well, don't tell her that, okay?
I mean, there's one part where he the parents are coming back. They're going to be back around midnight. And he sets a clock for them that's 13 hours. If it's real, then time is messed up because no one's looking for missing children for the last 11 or 10 hours of their
they finally got away from their kind of kooky daughter and baby. They're probably they got a hotel room just to sleep.
You know, I'm invested in a plot when I start doing math on a napkin while I'm watching. I'm like, this can't be right. They've been gone for too long.
Well, time works different in the labyrinth. How about that?
I guess sure.
Little Dylan Spackle all over your face there. So, moving along, she does finally say those words as they kind of go back and forth with the baby, and puts him in his crib and walks out. She flips the light off. That's actually when she flips the light off is when she says the word, and then the baby, as soon as she gets out of the room, stops crying, and she's like, "Oh, that seems bad." And so
I would have been like, "Oh, thank God," and I would have went on.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but for the sake of the movie,
that's what you wanted. You wanted the baby to hush, and then you did the magic thing. You put it away. You turned down the lights. You stepped out of the room. The baby quit crying. You're like, "I've done it again."
I think it was.
I'm good.
I think it was the suddenness. I think it was the suddenness with which the baby stopped crying. Now she turns around and comes back in. And from here on in, this whole scene is shot sort of like a horror movie. Like when she's walking up to the crib, she's going to find just something horrific in the crib.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see from the doorway that there's nothing in the crib, which to me was worse than something being in the crib.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Little goblin giggle and the blankets sort of moving, and it's dark in the room and the lights don't work, and so it's shot up from, maybe about her like navel height, so it kind of has that weird offsetting angle as she's walking up to it. And so she moves the blanket back and nothing's there, and then goblins just be scampering around the room.
It's so funny. They're hiding. She can't find them. They're poking out behind all of the furniture, and that's when I knew this movie was going to have that kind of a fun time to it.
Yeah,
because at first it was kind of like a confusing, like, all right, is it supposed to be, is it trying to be PG-13 dark, or is it trying to be Jim Henson funny? And at this point I was like, there it is, there's some goofy Muppet stuff.
Yeah. Well, what happens next, Travis, is boom, an owl comes smashing through, the same owl from the park, presumably, because it's the same species, smashes through the door. Glitter goes like everywhere, and it turns into David Bowie.
And that's how he started most of his concerts in from 75 through 79. That was part of it, yeah.
Now, he comes in and he shows her those sweet glass magic balls. He's like, these do cool things, sort of like Uncle Doug with a melon and a beer bottle, very amazing.
Yeah.
And she kind of says, that's great. I really appreciate what you're trying to do for me, but could you just give me my brother back? I really need him back, presumably because I love him, but I also might get in trouble. And
I think it's more because she knows she'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
There was nothing about her interaction with that child that lets me know she cares anything about it. She just does not want to get in trouble.
Yeah, she may, at this point, she doesn't want to get in trouble.
I don't think she ever loves it. I want to go ahead and say that right now. It never happens.
She really puts herself in some peril for a baby that she didn't love. Okay,
because it was a dream.
Brother. Okay, well, maybe. According to my wife, she was really in Labyrinth. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, Travis, there's a scene here where Jareth gets a little mad at her sass, and he chucks a snake at her face. How'd you feel about that?
Did like it. I thought it was rude. I said that's not a way to treat anybody. I don't like that a bit. It gave me the heebie-jeebies. I'll say that. I didn't like it because it's a real snake apparently. Because they couldn't CG an owl for shit. There's no way that snake is not real.
I mean, David Bowie just constantly throwing a snake in people's face in this movie. I swear, it's awful.
That's true. Goddamn. You know what? I thought about that joke today, and I was like, I got to remember when we get to the snake part to be like, that's not the only snake. And then Kevin out here live hits it.
Dude, hey, we're partners in this, all right? If one drops the ball, the other one picks it up and turns it into a snake and throws it in your face. Now,
how proud of you? How proud are you of me that I spend time thinking about all the bad jokes I'm going to hurl at you while I take lunch? Isn't that nice?
I'm thinking about you all the time. I didn't think you ever thought about this podcast. I thought this was just sort of like an afterthought.
I mean, it is, but I have a lot of afterthoughts.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was like a burp after a big meal. You're like, oh, that feels good. I like doing it, but I don't need it.
No, I like it.
Oh, okay.
I got to watch The Labyrinth.
Okay, that's fair. That's
fun.
Well, the snake turns into a scarf, and he's like, haha, and then she throws it to the ground, and it turns into a goblin and skitters off. I like that whole sequence. As they're having this bit of dialogue, the room sort of melts around them as they walk out the window into Labyrinth land, and she kind of sees it off in the distance. And before Bowie's character sort of disappears into the ether, he gives us a little bit of info. The first thing is he gives her 13 hours to solve the labyrinth. And he also tells her, if you don't come and get him, I will keep him forever and turn him into a goblin.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so you've been kidnapping babies for a while, because there are a ton of goblins.
So many goblins. Well, so she knows what the setup is, and she looks at this giant, confusing labyrinth, and she goes, don't look that bad. Don't look that bad.
You know what? And I had the same thought. I was looking at it, and I was like, in 13 hours, yeah, I think I could run just through about every possible, from the hedge maze that I can see, route and be fine. I didn't realize once we got in there it was going to be like vicious, tricky magic. Like, that's a different thing. But if it's just straight up hedge maze, then climb to the top, run over the top. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking, like climbing over the top. But, like she's short and there's magic and reasons. So as she approaches the trying to find the entrance to the labyrinth, there's no other way to say this. Hoggle is just peeing in some water.
Yeah, which caught me off guard.
Yeah, I don't know why that was necessary in a children's movie to have a character going pee-pee. Like, I watched, I think he's a dwarf maybe in the movie. I can't remember what his like fantasy character species is, but he maybe Travis can Google that and tell us the truth. But like, I watched the whole Lord of the Rings franchise and never once saw a dwarf peeing in that one, and it's got a bunch of dwarves in it.
I know, that dude's peeing like in a cistern. It's not just that he's peeing in like
like the water supply.
That looks like important water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Everybody's drinking out of that, dude. And then he's walking around spraying fairies with like bug killer.
He is a dwarf. But yeah,
okay.
That also, I actually kind of like that. I mean, I didn't like that the fairies were dying, but I thought that was a cool kind of effect that he was treating them like mosquitoes.
Yeah,
right?
like they were
just
sort of
hitting
a
them
pest.
midair.
And
Yeah,
then, of course, she picks one up and it bites her. And he's like, well, what'd you expect it to do? It's like, okay, well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
This is when the movie I really like, from basically this part on, I have completely forgotten about the motive. I don't care anymore. It's just taking a journey through this imaginative land because everything is just so whimsical and neat. I love it.
And I love they kind of keep some of the same running themes. Now she is following Hoggle and says, hey, how do I she actually asks a series of questions trying to find out where the door to the labyrinth is, and he's like, you're not asking me the right question. And then she's okay, how do I get into it? And he goes, the door's right there. And you're like, oh my God, really, dude, you're just needlessly being difficult. Well, the door appears, she goes in, looks around. Whoo, boy, this labyrinth looks bigger on the inside, doesn't it, Travis?
It does. And I was trying to find the cracks. Like I was trying to, because I was like, there's no way this is, I know they use practical effects and there's not all this CGI here, but you could almost see the very like end of the hall where they put like the poster up that carried the hallway further. Right. Almost. But I still thought it was so well done because there's a sequence of her running for like 2 minutes straight, and you can like they had to redo that set to make it look like a different part of that hallway constantly. I was amazed by shit like that the whole time I watched the movie. It was like, how did they do that? How long did that take?
Yeah, it holds up pretty well, man. Well, Hoggle sort of hoggles in behind her. They have a little bit of salty dialogue, and he's like, you know what, forget it, I'm out of here, and closes the door. She starts heading into the labyrinth. She goes by some moss with eyeballs. How'd you feel about the moss with eyeballs?
I love all this stuff.
Yeah,
I love all this stuff. But you're about to get to the part where that really upset me, actually.
Oh, okay, good. Well, she runs and runs and runs, and finally she gets tired. She's like, there's no way into this thing. It's just one long hallway. And then this worm shows up.
And what does the worm do, Kev?
He invites her to go to tea.
Come on in, meet my wife, have some tea. And she says no? Bro, I'm going to go check out that worm's family. I mean, let's go on a ride.
I mean, I kind of get where you're coming from, but also this worm, it comes off a little creepy and a little bit strong. Like, come in, you gotta see my wife and some tea. Ooh, is super creepy.
Come on in. I liked it. It's not the only worm to beckon us in this movie.
That's true. Were you thinking about that one at lunch today?
Nah, that one just came to me.
That's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Well, the worm does really want her to come have tea with him, and she, I guess, maybe she's, you know what? She is on a clock. She's trying to find the baby before midnight or before it's been 13 hours, and so hey, maybe that's why she turns down the nice offer of tea. But the worm is nice enough to tell her things aren't what they seem, right? There's a bunch of like that as a theme or a thing that gets said a lot. They say she says it's not fair, and that comes back around quite a bit. And also, don't take it for granted. That's one of those themes that gets said quite a bit. Don't take a certain thing for granted when you're in the labyrinth, which I thought was kind of an interesting because she takes her little brother for granted, right? Well, she does manage to get through the side of this wall that somehow opens up when she tries to walk through it, and the worm very helpfully is like, no, don't go that way. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll go the other way. And she goes the other way, and he's like, whew, thank goodness she didn't go that way. She would have ended up at that evil castle if she went that way.
Yeah. I love that. I let out an audible like, no, come on. My wife was like, it's okay, it'll get better. I'm like, stupid, God.
Well, I particularly love that. Now, as she's moving through the labyrinth, we get some cries from Toby in the castle. And, man, this goblin castle is just straight up wild.
Dude, I don't know what's happening in there, but I felt so bad for that baby. I was like, did it get breaks, or did they just full on confront it with unrelenting, terrible goblin Muppets for hours? Is that how they made it cry? Had to be.
Yeah. I love that, like, David Bowie about, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds into this is just bored and decides he's just going to start singing a song. And they all start singing along. I'm like, how many times a day do they do this?
It's so rehearsed. They must do this all the time.
It's so good. This song is a banger, though. Like, this is the I kept messing up the lyrics slightly intentionally to annoy my wife about, like, the you remind me of the Babe. What babe? The voodoo. The babe with the power. What power you do? You do voodoo. And she's like, I hate you. I hate everything that you represent. Which apparently the writer of this song and that particular lyric to start it pulled those lines from an old, like, Cary Grant movie. Apparently he says those lines in it. Totally random way to start this, but this is a banger of a song, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all bangers. It's David Bowie singing.
Right?
It's a good time.
A little bit of Magic Dance. Well,
there's no AC/DC. That's what we need to switch the soundtracks on the movie, see what happens.
I'm there for that supercut. Well, they have this nice music break, and we cut back to the Labyrinth, and Sarah is kind of trying to find her way through it. Now, she's being smart. She's being clever. She's using her lipstick to kind of mark her directions so she doesn't get lost on the way back. But then we see these little scamps that live under the stones just flipping the arrows different directions.
I loved it. I love to see that. It was awesome. The first guy pops his little head out, and I think he flips it over completely and erases it. But then they get wilier, and they start turning her arrows. And thankfully, she's wise enough to pick it up. I don't know that I would have. If I would have looked down and I saw the arrow that I just thought I made pointing in the wrong way, I would have been like, stupid me. I'm so stupid. I keep pointing in the wrong way. I'm so dumb. I'm going to die in here if I can't get my act together.
You're Jack Torrance in the hedge maze at the Overlook, except with lipstick.
With lipstick.
Goblins and a sense of loss that you can't find your little brother. It's just, he's become a goblin and you'll never see him again.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, he's probably happier that way. He's not crying as much anyway. So, moving along, she is kind of going through there. She figures out that her arrows are getting messed up, and then she runs into two doorkeepers, or gatekeepers, if you want to look at it that way. And she solves a logic puzzle, kind of. One of them says that he can't tell her or the other one's going to lie and the other one's going to tell her the truth.
Right.
And so she walks up to one of them and she asks it, will he tell me if it's the right the gates. What happens if she chooses wrong, Travis? One leads to doom and bad things, the other leads to the castle. And so she gets an answer, which is yes, he would tell you that. Somehow she uses logic to figure out that it's one of the doors, and she's like, haha, I'm a genius, goes through this door and immediately falls in a hole. And my wife was like, I never really got how she understood it was the right door to go in. I was like, she didn't. It wasn't the right door.
Clearly the wrong door. She falls through a hole that is just full of pedophiles' dead arms.
Oh no. Come on, don't be that way about the helping hands.
Oh, they weren't. What were they helping?
They kept her from falling just straight to a splat.
It's what I imagine crowd surfing to be like, and that gives me so much anxiety. I don't like it. I don't like the one of them was unsavory, and it only takes one hand out of a giant hole of hands to make it weird. But the other thing that bothers me, they do the what are you going to hit me with?
I was just going to say, what if that was a ride at Disneyland?
Oh my God! Honestly, at that point, I'll ride it. I'll ride it.
Okay, all right.
If it's got oversight, I'll ride it. But if it's just a random hole in a castle, there's no way.
Would it make a difference if they were like robot hands and not like people hands?
Nah, they gotta be people hands. I need someone on the other end of that to know what's up.
Oh, okay. You just want the warmth and touch of another human being. I understand.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking for that. But the hands do cool stuff, like they make them talk and they turn them into faces and they do other riddles. And you might be covering a little bit more of this, but what killed me about that part was at the very end, they were like, which way do you want to go, up or down? And she says down. I was like, but that seems like the bad way because we were just following that way.
Yeah, that seems like the way you don't want to go, but that's...
Yeah, but I was also thinking if she says up, it's a lot of fondling.
So much more. And I don't think they have enough leverage, really. Like, they're going to be pulling on you and jerking you. I don't know. And, too, I think about it, and it's like, if I were in that situation, I am so lazy, I'd be like, I'm already halfway there. Like, I might as well go down.
Yeah, you
I got
just
gravity
you give
on
up.
my side. Yeah, I just give up. You know what? Being lazy in this case would work out for me, Travis, because boom, she drops in a hole, dark, scary. Guess who's there? Hoggle.
Yeah, why is he? How did he know get down there?
I mean,
Is there a better way that doesn't require all of that fondling?
I mean, maybe he went down that way just for the fondling.
I come down here all the time when I'm lonely.
They're so helpful. Anyway,
Yeah, that's right. They never really describe how they're helpful.
well,
There could be a way.
Yes, they could be. They could be like, hey, you need a haircut? You kind of tense in your shoulders, little massage, hey, you want me to do some knitting for you? Here's a nice sweater. They could literally do all the things hands can do.
Can you keep going? Do you have any more?
Oh, yeah, like cross stitch. They could play video games. They don't have eyes, but they can still play them.
Oh, but they can mime the eyes with the other hands.
Oh, that's
That'd be
true.
fun.
Yeah, that
That'd be
might
fun.
work. And they also do that. That's very helpful. Like, it could be really disconcerting to just have faceless hands talking to you, but they're like, no, you know what? You're used to a face. I'll make a face for you.
That is nice. I will give him that.
Nice. Well, as Hoggle lights up a candle, he offers to take her out of the labyrinth. Now we get a little cutaway, and Jareth, David Bowie, Goblin King, is like, "Ha, she might have made it this far, but I'm about to foil her because the dwarf's going to take her all the way outside the labyrinth, and she's got to start over." But she makes a deal to give Hoggle a piece of her jewelry that's made out of plastic. Very exciting for him. Not a lot of plastic in the labyrinth. If he'll take her as far as he can take her into the labyrinth. He says, "Deal, sucker." So I love this little bit about magicking a door. Like, he picks it up and puts it on the wall. He opens the door, and a bunch of junk falls out. He's like, it's the broom closet. Happens every time. Closes it, opens it back up, and it's a way out of this hole that they're in, which is super fun.
I love it. I love stuff like that. There's tons of that.
There's tons of it. So then they're walking down this scary hallway with scary stone faces saying ominous messages. And then at some point, Hoggle's like, I don't listen to them. We're going the right way. And they're like, I'm just doing my job.
I know. Like, not a lot of people come down there, and he's like, all right, get it out of your system. And he lets him say it. Oh, that's so funny.
And he does. He's like, I just want to say my line. Can I say it? And he's like, thank you. Have a good day. And so they get out of the hallway of scary stone faces, and a crystal ball comes rolling by him and leads them out into a hallway. Guess who's there? Goblin King.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't.
You didn't even
give
give me a chance.
I guess no. I'll do it now. Hold on. And so the ball rolls out in the hallway, and guess who's there?
Goblin King. Oh, shit. I messed it up. Goblin King.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. Great, Travis.
Sorry, I fumbled. I got excited.
Again, I'm Scottie Pippen and you're Michael Jordan, and you bricked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson did.
Oh, how does that? I don't know.
I'm just saying, I don't think he'd be good at basketball, though.
He might be. You don't know. You never play. He's got those moves. He could
He would walk. It constantly travels.
Yeah, but nobody's ever going to call it because it's so magnetic.
I know, motherfucker moon traveled. That's fine.
Well, anyway, I don't know why David Bowie bothers to disguise himself in this hallway because he immediately undisguises himself, but that's a thing that happens. At this point, Jareth accuses Hoggle of helping Sarah because he sees the bracelet, and this is uncomfortable. Hoggle, drops to his knees in front of David's Bowie.
He does. He gets real close, and that's... those are some tight pants. I mean, they're doing it to us. It's like they knew, right? Somebody knew. Somebody on set was like, maybe we should cast the light in a different angle because we're picking up a lot of dong on that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing that stuff like this makes it through so many people that people are like, yep, that's exactly what we're going for in this movie. It's exactly what we want.
This will be marketed to kids, right? It's like, yep, absolutely it is. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But how do we keep the moms paying attention? It's like, oh, don't worry, I got that covered.
Oh my God, don't you worry about that one. Well, he threatens Hoggle with the Bog of Eternal Stench, which is apparently the worst thing that can happen to you in the labyrinth. I thought death would be worse than smelling bad, but apparently not. Now, Sarah Jarrett says, "How do you like my Labyrinth?" And she talks a little junk. She like bucks up. She's like, "Psh, this ain't nothing." And all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, okay, well, fine." So he moves the time ahead on the clock, so now she's under an even more constrained time limit, and he pulls out a roto-rooter of death and sends it barreling down the tunnel towards her.
And this part is so cool. It's like an Indiana Jones ordeal, except with metal, like a metal drill from, I don't know, some chaotic steampunk land as opposed to a ball or a rock, but it is awesome.
It reminds me of like just they're running in like a cobwebby corridor with like a machine with grinding gears chasing them. I'm like, is this a Resident Evil game? Like just for a second, I was like, is this or a Crash Bandicoot for that matter?
It could be, yeah. I do like when they finally get out of the way, they end up moving like this part of the wall out of the way, and you look back and it's
just two
being
dudes
operated.
On a bicycle.
Two dudes on a bicycle. I love it because they're like the cleaners. That's like the cleaning machine that does get the cobwebs out of the tunnel, and they're just at work. I love that.
Like one of the guys turning the things, and then there's like two goblins on the quote unquote pedals, and it's sort of like an old timey hand car. They're just like bouncing back and forth. It's great. I
loved it.
So creative and great. Well, like you said, they did manage to push down a wall and not get squished by the roto-rooter, and they have some trust issues at this point that they're going to have to work through. So they have a little dialogue about that.
And they're only going to get worse.
Oh, they're only going to get worse. Oh, Hoggle, dear sweet, sweet little Hoggle,
sweet little hog man.
So
that is I don't know if we pointed out that gag where like no one ever gets his name right.
Oh,
that is kind of funny too.
Yeah, that happens definitely a decent amount. They call him like Hogwart and
Hogwarts,
and all kinds of stuff. So they climb up a ladder. That happens, and we find out that the bog of stench, which Hoggle was being threatened with, makes you smell bad forever. So that's not good. They pop out of a flower pot. This is a great bit.
It's like a Mario game. You just pop it out of a pipe in the middle of a, green, bright, sunny day.
Yeah, and so like they come up this ladder, so you would assume there would be something that led into this pot, but there's nothing underneath the pedestal, so they just pop out, which is a super clever effect. Like it's magical, but also you just had to have two people hide in a pot for a minute until they pop out. So, wait, what are you talking about? You didn't tell your wife that, right? Like she fully believed that ladder. No, I kept that to myself. By this point I'd gotten smart.
Honestly, though, why isn't this a theme park? This could be.
Yeah, that is true.
Probably not. There's probably not enough. I mean, for the amount of work that would have to go into replicating this masterpiece of practical effects cinema, probably not enough interest to justify it. But back in the day, maybe.
Yeah, and then it would just be like a bunch of middle-aged people trying to get their children to care about it enough to go.
Yeah.
And like nobody wants that. That's just sad.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they pop out of a flower pot. God, that kind of brought me down. And
you did that.
Says, yeah, that's true. I did do that. You were really excited about the theme park, and I'm like, no, actually, no one would care. We're all empty. And there's just a big nothingness out there, slowly swallowing a piece at a time.
I think it could make a fun video game.
Yeah, is it?
A lot of riddles and stuff.
That's got to be a video game already. There has to be a Labyrinth video game.
Actually, I don't know. Nothing. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you Google that. And I'm gonna spitball a little plot here for you. Well, Hoggle says that he's leaving. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of this place. And Sarah's like, no, you're not. So she steals his jewels, family and otherwise. Just kidding. It was a bag of jewels. And they have a very like little brother fight scene. She's like holding his forehead and he's trying to kick her. And she turns around and this wise man, quote unquote, has come out who has a bird hat. He has a talking bird hat. And Sarah introduces, I thought this was really nice. Even though they're having a little disagreement at the time, Sarah introduces herself and then she introduces, this is Hoggle, my friend.
Yeah. She got his name. Mm-hmm. All kinds of great. By the way, update.
Yep.
Update. I'm like Robert Stack right now. Update. Labyrinth, the computer game, released in 1986, same year as the movie, November of that year, came out on, it was a Lucasfilms game, came out on the Apple II and the Commodore 64, and it looks like...
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. It is surprising they haven't done a game since there was actually, for a little while, a little bit of movement behind trying to make a sequel to this, but it never happened.
Good reviews, though. Apparently, it's not that bad of a game. It just looks, it's rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's from like 86, dude. I mean, it's not going to look that great.
Yeah.
She has some dialogue with the wise man. Also, Hoggle is moved to be called anyone's friend. He's never had a friend before, so that's really nice. And Sarah gives her ring to the wise man, and they continue forward. The wise man tries to give her some advice, doesn't seem super helpful. As they're sort of ruminating on being friends, we hear this horrific monster bellowing screech, and Hoggle's like, nope, I'm out. I'm a coward. I'm out of here. He says,
Classic
I'm a coward.
Hoggle.
I'm leaving. Just classic.
Which, what are you going to do now? You can't even call him names. He's already done it.
Yeah. Which at the same time, it's like, you could have followed him, Sarah. Like, this is on you a little bit, but I'm glad that she stuck around, because this is the introduction of my favorite character in the movie, Ludo.
Yeah, big long-haired Sasquatch ape thing. I love him.
Yes, man. He's got very like staccato, broken speech. Oh, I just love it. And he's just cute as the Dickens. Big hulking thing. Well, the goblins have trapped Ludo, and she says, I'm going to try to help him, because those goblins are genuinely bad. So I'm going to try to help him. And Ludo, I call it singing up the rocks. He does this sort of howl thing where he can kind of control rocks and talk to them, and they help him. And a couple of rocks roll Sarah's way, and she just straight up turns into Randy Johnson, and she's chucking these rocks, taking goblins' heads off with them.
Gotta love it, dude. And I wish anybody could control The Rock right now. Have you been keeping tabs on Dwayne The Rock Johnson? He's messing up the WWE.
Oh, I love it, man. I love he's coming back as a heel. Anyway, that's for our wrestling podcast, the Royal Tumble. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Okay. We'll work on the name some, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's not bad. Sarah tells Ludo to stop growling at her, and Ludo down. And so she lets him down, and he says, friend Sarah. By the way, I've been doing this all week long. Which my wife is totally okay with, because I'm pretty monosyllabic to begin with, and then
that's
also
the hottest you've ever been to her, man.
Yeah, that's right. I just do my Ludo impression. Well, she asks Ludo if he knows the way to the Goblin Castle. He's like, no, and so. They kind of journey on forward, and they come across Travis. This is probably your favorite part of the movie. A couple of wisecracking knockers.
Oh, I love these sloppy knockers, boy. I tell you what, they're fun. They're fun. I like immediately. There's one that has the knocker. Now it's fun when I say it. He has the knocker like through his ears, right? And there's another one. He's got the knocker through his mouth. And he can't talk very well when the knocker's in his mouth. And she takes it out of his mouth, and he can talk. And I just think that's fun. And also, looking at those faces, I'm like, how do they do this? This looks so good. This is amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, some animatronics and then some puppetry and some all kinds of good stuff.
I know it wasn't magic. I'm just saying, like, it's impressive.
No, they're alive, Travis. This is real.
Okay.
This is all real.
I keep forgetting.
Yeah. It is a really great effect, though, and like the design, and like that's why this is just better, because in 2024, or whenever you're listening to this, because it's not going away, dear sweet listener, it would have just been CGI. It would have just been some nerd sitting behind his computer, not doing nothing. In this case, it was some nerd with like spackle and glue and some circuits,
spray paint,
figuring this out. But the general gist of what happens in this scene is she figures out that she has to knock on one of the doors to open it up. So she tricks the knocker that she took the thing out of its mouth. Also, there's a super cute moment where Ludo has put the knocker in his mouth and he's pretending to be the door. That's super cute. Love that. So she holds the knocker's nose so that he opens his mouth up to breathe, and she puts it back in there, knocks on the door, and heads on in. And they find themselves in a bit of a swamp, and Ludo's like, don't like this. He doesn't say that, but he follows her
along. Which is weird, because he looks like a swamp guy. He looks to be like, if I saw him from a distance, I'd be like, that guy swamps all day. He's a swamper.
He swamps all day, every day, but apparently not. Apparently he's more of a forest, or perhaps sand desert. That's what they call those.
You think he's a desert Sasquatch?
No, he's got a lot of...
a sand squinch?
Yeah, he's I don't know, man. He's got a lot of fur. It's so hot in the desert. I feel like unless it's like cooling fur. Anyway, it doesn't matter what his natural habitat is. I assume it's a labyrinth. However, we get a little cut back to the castle. Just a quick little tidbit of Jareth's tidbits, and he is bonding with Toby. They've kind of the baby. He's getting along well with the baby. Now we cut back to the swamp, and Ludo is scared, and then he falls in a hole.
Sad times for Ludo.
Yeah.
And also the hole just kind of disappeared. Like he dropped in it, and then she's like, "Where'd Ludo go?" No hole. It's like he got swallowed up.
Yeah, man. It's hey, Labyrinth is as Labyrinth does, man.
That's right.
Tricksy.
It giveth and it taketh away, and then it just keep taking.
Yeah. Well, we get a little cutaway to Hoggle, and he is at David Bowie Rock, and it literally is a rock in the shape of David Bowie's face. If I were gonna expect to find the Goblin King somewhere, that might be where it is.
It's a really nice illusion too, because it's like broken in two. There's like a depth thing. Everything about this movie, I'm blown away by, man. I would love if they just kept the sets active and put them in a museum so we could see them. That'd be great.
Recently found the original mask for Hoggle, and that thing looks horrific because it is just desiccated over the years, and it looks terrifying. So Google that if you don't want to sleep tonight. One other thing I'll mention, things that are kind of creepy, is that they put David Bowie's face in a lot of the scenes, and it's sort of like a little Easter egg. Like in certain shots of the Labyrinth, you can see his face. When they're in the swamp, when they're in the bog of eternal stink, you can see his face like kind of in the trees and that sort of thing. Like he's always there, omnipresent, watching them, which is kind of fun.
It is fun.
Well, Jareth gives a poisoned peach to Hoggle, and he sends him after Sarah and says, "You better give that to her." And Hoggle, he kind of bucks up, stands up for himself. He says, "I won't do anything that is going to hurt her." And then he gets threatened with the bog some more. Jareth's like, "I'm going to put you in that bog so hard, it's going to be the hardest you've ever been in a bog." And he's like, I don't like it. And he says, "Oh, so you're getting soft on that girl, are you? You think she likes you? You know what? If she ever kisses you, I'll make you the prince of the bog." Yeah. Weird thing to say.
Yeah, kind of. All of it was kind of weird, to be honest. Like a poisoned peach, like she's going to fall for that? Like, come on. Is she stupid? Pfft, what is she, Snow White? What is she, Eve? Come on. She's not going to eat a poisoned fruit. What are you guys doing? Come on, stuff.
But when it's given to you by a friend...
I don't know, man. Honestly, if a guy that looked like a rotten peach handed you a peach, it was like, "Here, eat this." Would you do it? I wouldn't.
I love peaches, dude. Yeah, man. I chow right down. I'm vulnerable in this situation. That's why I feel so bad for her, you know? But
I love peaches, but this guy looks like Bob Barker's ballsack. I don't know that I'm accepting fruit from him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, he would be my friend, and I would eat his.
Did I say Bob? Is it Bill Barker? Bob Barker?
Well, that's Bob Barker. You get that right. Yeah.
Good.
Remember to spay and neuter your Travises. Now, moving into the back into the swamp. I don't know why that got me. But they're back in the swamp, and this is the appearance of I believe it's pronounced the Fieries. Yes. These things are freaking. My notes here are headless, gyrating, banging, song, creepy.
We know what these things are. Oh, by the way, I got a lot to say about this part.
Lay it on me.
But the first is those. You ever wondered what Miss Piggy and Kermit's kid look like? Well, that's it.
Why does it have a beak?
Beats me, man. And then the second thing is, when I was listening to this song, my wife and I did not watch this with subtitles. It sounds like they're asking if you're down to fuck over and over again.
Travis, this is a children's movie, for the love of God.
Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Ruins the whole song.
Man, this song is awesome. I love I like the vocal melody in this song. I mean, they do a little bit of like pitter patter talking over things, but like the general vocal melody is really great in this song. It's got some good tunes in it, man.
It was catchy. It's not very clear, so there's a lot of opportunity for misheard lyrics, and I misheard them the only way I know how, filthily.
Well, there's all kinds of creepy stuff that these Furies do. They're like taking their heads off and like, you know, all that sort of thing. And she, at some point during this weirdness, accidentally like knocks one of their heads off. So then they're like, "You can't knock somebody's head off if we don't knock your head off." And they're like chasing her down to presumably pull her head off her body.
This couldn't have been any kid's favorite part of the movie. This is terrifying for ages up through 13. But at around 13, you're maybe brave enough to watch it with the sound off. Because it's a terrifying thing to see. Still.
Just to be fair to the Furies or Fireys, I believe, pulling your head off is a sign of respect in their culture. So, like, they weren't trying to do her any harm. That's just how they are. That's how they live their lives. And so she is fleeing away from them. Hoggle drops a rope from a cliff's edge, and she sort of climbs up there. And she's so grateful that Hoggle saves her. She gives him a little kiss. Oh, remember what happens if she kisses him? Boom, they fall into the bog of eternal stank.
Right, which is what I would consider Doug's the bathroom in his bedroom. I think that is he thankfully doesn't waft it out into the hall, but that back one is rough.
No, he had a backflow valve that was messed up. We got that fixed, man. It's fine now. Everything's good.
What, did he have to go to a doctor for that, or are you talking about a mechanical piece?
No, it was part of the plumbing. He had commercial. We put a commercial grade backflow in there, and everything's fine now.
It's because his backflow valve does need a doctor. Both of them.
I mean, the guy lives right up the road from a truck stop and eats 90% of his meals there. Okay, you could cut him a break.
I've seen him pass that truck stop for Taco Bell. He'll venture out.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll get, but if he sees a Church's chicken, you better put your seatbelt on because he's slamming on the brakes.
Dang.
But anyway, yeah, the bog is it's fun. I like it. What's interesting is that obviously it plays on a sense that you can't exploit through cinema, which is smell, right? But they do a really good job of making you feel like it stinks there because there's fart noises coming from places. It reacts appropriately to the stench. Like, they really sell it. I feel like not enough movies that bring stink into the equation sell how bad it is as much as this scene does. And it should, because this is supposed to be the stink of the stink.
Yeah, dude, Travis, there are wet fart holes in the water.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, it is ridiculous. Well, they're trying to avoid falling in the wet fart holes in the water and ending up with eternal stink, and they don't shy away from showing these things, which is absolutely hilarious. And they kind of came out of this chute on the edge of the wall of the labyrinth, and they're kind of shimmying along the wall, trying not to fall in. And, guess what happens? They actually do end up falling off of the wall, but there's land below them, thank goodness, and they land on Ludo.
What do you think's in that? What do you think that is? What do you think what do you think's stinking?
Oh, I would just imagine like really strong sulfur with like an undertone of mayonnaise that's been sat out in the sun for a while.
You said that like, of course it's that. And you nailed it. But is it sewage? Is it like... In this world, is that what's happening here? Is it a cliff over sewage?
I mean, I definitely think that they've got a very laissez-faire approach to water purity. I mean, dude's just peeing in the cistern right at the beginning of the movie. Right. So I do think it has some bad bacterial runoff from the labyrinth and all the weirdness in there, but I also think there's just bad natural gases.
Yeah. I could see that.
Like real swamp gas. Bog gas.
Bog gas, yeah.
And you know what Ludo has to say about that? He says, smell.
You don't like it.
He's not a fan of that. I wish my ringtone was just Ludo saying, smell.
You can do that. It's 2024. Make your ringtone whatever you want. I think. I don't know why you couldn't.
I would have to actually make my phone make noise first, and I don't want that. That's not something I want. Well, they are trying to move away from the bog. It's even worse smelling at ground level, and they reach a bridge where they might be able to get out of the bog, and that's where we run into my boy, Sir Didymus.
That's right. Terry Gilliam.
That's
Jones.
right, man.
Gilliam?
Terry Gilliam Jones. Yes, Gilliam. He's hyphenated.
I always get the Terrys confused in Monty Python, but yeah. Does the voice for this wily guy who's kind of presents himself as like a piratey jester on this bridge out of stench.
Hey guys, this is Kevin. Way after the fact, during the edit of this podcast, it turns out it is not Terry Gilliam Jones or whoever Travis is talking about that plays Sir Didymus. It is David Shagasesenesi. That's exactly how you say his last name, who is a English-born actor, director, and producer who supplied several character voices in Labyrinth. Anyway, just didn't want you thinking the wrong thing. All right, now back to your regularly scheduled broadcast. Yeah, and he's some type of dog fox. I'm not entirely sure what his actual species is, but he guards this bridge, and he says, "What do you mean it smells bad here? It smells fresh and clean and wonderful. I love it." And he does not let them cross the bridge. He says, "It's my job to guard this." And so Didymus and Ludo, they get in a straight up brawl.
And you think it's pretty much in Ludo's favor. He's got about 4 bills on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's got about 7 feet on him.
Mm-hmm.
Fairer fight than you might imagine. A lot of climbing, a lot of biting, a lot of scratching, a lot of pulling.
Yep. And
a lot of flinging.
Didymus finally calls it a draw. He's like, I've never met my match in battle. Awesome. I love that this dude's just been out here just rocking people's worlds. You know what I mean? He has to, because he's like pretty surly. He's not letting people pass his bridge, so there have to have been like hundreds of goblins that lay slain in his lair. The lair of Didymus.
It's funny that this is Terry Gilliam /Jones/Gilliam, because it reminds me of the Monty Python bits from Holy Grail where they keep running into these knights who talk themselves up, and then they end up being like, the knights who say knee, or the one who just gets all of his limbs chopped off, and it's kind of in that ilk. So I don't know, maybe that's a fun little callback or something. I don't know.
Well, during the battle of Didymus and Ludo, Hoggle's like, man, I can't take this stink. So he ditches across the bridge while Didymus is otherwise occupied. Again, they end their fight and they become best friends, as you absolutely should if you've ever had a fight with somebody, unless they're a jerk who pulls the chair out from under you. Then you want to you want to keep that grudge. And anyway, they talk to Didymus a bit more, and he's like, well, I still can't let you go across the bridge without my permission. And they're like, could you just give us your permission? And he's like, yes, I could do that. So he does that. As Sarah's trying to cross the bridge, though, the bridge collapses beneath her, and we're like, oh no, is she gonna smell stanky?
Oh no.
So Jennifer Connelly is like 50-ish now, 50 in her 50s. Still beautiful woman. All right. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, just gorgeous. So she strolls up to you, but she's still carrying the stench of the bog of eternal stink. You gonna take a shot at it?
Nah, I still got Marissa Tomei. Nah, I'm good. Walk on, Stinky.
Okay, what if the role was played by Marissa Tomei and now she had the bog of eternal stench and she's like, hey, Travis, all this time.
I'd be like, it's all good. I still got Jennifer Connelly. Move along.
So you just go back. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, instead of falling in, Ludo brings up his magical rock singing ability, and a rock bridge appears, and everybody makes it across without ending up super duper stinky. However, they gotta have a little stink on them because these rocks are farting as they walk across.
Dude, it kills me. Then Ludo's got to go across, and they're farting every step, and then the dog goes across. Everybody's farting. It's like 5 straight minutes of farts. Wet, goopy, bubbly farts.
I did forget to mention Sir Didymus has a noble steed. It looks suspiciously like Sarah's dog back in the real/regular world. Except
I was confused
world,
by this. I just assumed it was her dog. I was like, I guess he got in. I don't know how this works.
From what I understand, this is Sir Didymus's steed, Ambrosius, which is also, if I'm not mistaken, now her dog's name is Merlin. I think Ambrosius is another name for Merlin in Arthurian lore. I could be wrong about that. I'll let you look that up, Travis. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you what happens. So they're walking along the edge of the bog of eternal stench, trying to get out of there, and Hoggle debates tossing the peach into the bog to be rid of it, to be rid of the weight he carries to try to betray his friend. And he hears Jareth's voice saying, "Yeah, don't do that." So we bounce back to the castle, and we find out that the peach does something bad. We kind of assume that, but that it also will make her forget things when she eats it, i.e. forget the baby.
But update. Ambrosius means divine or immortal in ancient Greek.
Oh, okay. So I guess that was not a name for Merlin, and I just made that up. Cool.
Sure.
Well, Hoggle does end up giving her the peach because everybody's hungry, And somehow this peach transports her into a hallucination where she's in a sexy masked ball hallucination dream about Jareth.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
Don't give, maybe let's not be giving girls peaches that erase their memories.
Yeah,
seems like a rule.
against it.
I'm against it as well. Also, I know you're loving the interludes, but Geoffrey of Monmouth, who was a mythical guy, combined earlier Welsh tales of Myrddin and Ambrosius to form Merlin. So there's a link.
I thought I kind of remember that from somewhere. Thank you for being ever investigative, dear sweet Travis.
But poison peaches are bad. Don't give them to anyone.
Yeah, don't do that, especially if a guy with entirely too much eyeliner on, unless it's David Bowie, sends those peaches with you. Well, she eats it, and this is like some creepy, like eyes wide shut sort of masked. And what tripped me out too is like all of the characters in this masked ball are humans. There's not like goblins there, but they're humans wearing goblin masks. I'm sure in the world of metaphor that says something.
It was wild. I mean, we already have a dream sequence kind of inside of a dream sequence, so it's like it's got to be trippier than the trippy thing that we were just from. So yeah, it's getting wild in here. It's getting wild. I'll tell you what, if you had an edible while you're watching this movie, it's about this time where you're like, I don't know if I'm actually watching. I don't know if I'm imagining a different movie right now.
You're like, God, I wish I'd just dial this back. Well,
I have made a mistake.
Also, this Bowie song here bangs. I love it. It's a great, great song. She speaking of, she picks up a dangerous and deadly chair and hurls it to break the illusion, which shatters like glass. And then she's like falling through space-time. She does this because she remembers for some reason that time is running out because a clock is like ticking, but she can't remember exactly what it is. So boom, smashes the illusion with this chair, and then she's falling through time and space, and she lands in a junkyard.
Yeah, and weird. I don't know what to say anymore. At this point, it's like we've kind of crested the beyond, but junkyard. Not that fun. Worst part of the whole thing, though, is there's a worm in the peach. And I was like, James,
Yeah, it was only half a worm, though, and a little boy was crying. It was really, it was awful. Well, she stands up in this junkyard, and all of a sudden, part of the junkyard stands up and starts yelling at her. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's this lady, and she's just got all of these pieces of junk on her back.
I love
and
that.
She's
I was like,
hey,
Mom?
Your mom had some crags, dude. It is a very weird looking goblin with just this huge amount of junk on her back, right? And so she hands Sarah her stuffy, this stuffed animal that was missing when she went to her room, the thing that she got so mad about. And she's like hugging, and she's like, oh yeah. And she's like, you over here you might see some more things you like. And she invites her into this kind of tense junk area, and when she walks in, it's her room.
I know, what?
Perfect with all of her stuff in it.
Yeah, except she's so dumb that she goes in there and flops on the bed, and she's like, oh, this must have been a dream. I must have walked right out of junk and into my real room.
Yeah.
What luck. And then she gets up and runs outside like, it feels so good to be alive and back into my own. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of actually startles me a little bit. This junk character creeps me out more than the Fireys. Like, she really creeps me out.
Really?
And, like, so she opens the door and she's like, hello, and comes like walking in, And so she's like, Sarah's trying to remember why she's here or what's going on, and the junk lady keeps like, oh, well, this is your favorite this thing, and this is your favorite this thing, and she starts putting these things on her back, trying to turn Sarah basically into another creepy junk lady. It's so upsetting to me. I don't know, maybe I'm a minimalist at heart, but this really creeps me out, dude.
I mean, it is kind of a metaphor for like, these are all the things you care about. They're now your burdens. You need to free some space up to carry the things that truly matter, is probably the point. Or you turn into this old, wicked, foul, garbage winch like this lady, who, honestly, she seems great. She does remind me of my mom. My mom was a bit of a pack rat, and she had bad posture. So I was like, Mom, is that? But, yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah. Wow. Hey,
and I, too, am a pack rat with bad posture. This is nice.
I feel like I should give you a hug or something, bud, but we got plot to get to. Anyway,
Okay.
Well, I'll just give you a hearty nod.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice. I felt warm.
Yeah, great, man. Well, Sarah picks up the Labyrinth script and she kind of starts to read and remembers Toby. So at that point, she decides to take action, try to save him. This is when the junk world sort of starts to fall apart, and Didymus and Ludo find her and pull her out, and then golluming around behind them is Hoggle. He's like, oh, she's so mad at me. She's never going to forget. That's not a very good Hoggle voice. Oh, she's never going to forgive me. That's slightly better. But anyway, he's following along behind them because he's very upset about what he did. In fact, it kind of gets me when there's cursing in this movie. You know how I feel about that, Travis, but especially a kid's movie. But like, when he gives her the peach, he's upset with himself for doing it. He's like, damn you, Jareth, and damn me too. And then like, it gets you a little bit, doesn't it?
And it was at this moment where I was like, man, they be saying damn twice close in a kid's movie. Usually you get like a damn like once every 45 minutes, but they back-to-back damns. Crazy.
Man.
But it's like, also, Hoggle, you should be sorry. You tried to roofie her with fruit. That's not cool, dude.
Yeah, that's
you
not
ran
cool.
on it.
Yeah. He should have done better. Well, leave a man a chance to redeem himself, or dwarf in this case. Well, they have pretty much made it to the walls of the Goblin City at this point, and they're trying to sneak in quietly, and Sir Didymus acts a fool. He's like hitting the guard who is asleep on the face and stuff, and they're like, will you just stop for like a second? And he's like, oh sure, yeah, no problem. And so when they get into the entryway, they're like, this seems like a trap, and a giant mech goblin comes rolling out. This thing's like 20 feet tall and swinging like a 400-pound axe.
It's so like, I couldn't help when watching this imagining how cool it would be as a legit like modern day video game where this guy's like very clearly like a sub boss, like you've kind of crested the hump, you're in the castle, and he's kind of like setting the tone for the rest of the game. I was like, dude, it's not too late. We just put out a RoboCop game. Labyrinth's ripe. Let's hit it. It writes itself. There's riddles, there's puzzles, there's action. There's even already a bad story. You don't even have to write one.
Whoa,
it's great.
whoa.
It's great.
Whoa, this is a good story. Second of all, I'm just gonna pitch like a Dead Cells version of Labyrinth. I just want that.
Okay.
That's
fun. Fine. Whatever you want. But do something with the property.
Yeah, I think so. Well, this giant mech goblin thing is giving them quite the fits and nearly killing them. It scares Sir Didymus's noble steed away, and at this point, Hoggle comes out of nowhere. Somehow he is scampered up on top of the rampart, and he runs along the rampart, leaps in the air, like does like a flying Superman punch, knocks the helmet off of this thing, picks the goblin up that's driving it by the throat, and he's like freaking like straight up Undertaker choke slams him off of the top of this mech thing, and then he tries to drive it, and that just goes all kinds of wrong, and he ends up like sticking the I guess you couldn't, he would be too OP at this point in the Labyrinth movie. So like he makes it blow up somehow, and he like leaps off of it just in the last second, you know.
Dude, when he leaps off of it and falls 28 feet just chin first
It
onto
bounces.
that, dude, like that is a dead Muppet. Like there's no way it was so comical. I don't know if it was meant to be, but that impact got me good.
Well, he tries to get out of it, get out ahead of it here again. He's like, listen, I did something bad, and I don't need your forgiveness because I've never had any friends before. And Sarah's like, hey, buddy, I forgive you, and we are friends. And Sir Didymus and Ludo embrace Hoggle as well. And this is, and they said you were brave. You did a brave thing, and he like it builds him up, man. Like he always wanted to be a good person. He just was outside the labyrinth killing fairies.
And peeing in the water.
You know, but he's changing. Well, in the city, proper. They open up the gates and there's nobody there. Weird. That's strange. There's a cat and a mouse, but other than that, it's kind of quiet. So we cut to the castle and a goblin runs in and informs Jareth, what's up, man? He's like, hey, the whole crew is here in the city. They made it somehow. So at this point, Jareth's like, all right, I got to mobilize my forces. So he hides the baby and he sends his forces, like just his goblin murder army after the 4 or 5 of these guys, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like a guy like, a magic wizard that's all malevolent and he can do all those sweet ball tricks one-handed. Have you been watching him with the balls? He's crazy with them.
Oh,
yeah. It's like maybe he would have like maybe some better defenses inside his own town.
You would think that. But, I mean, he does have some pretty good ones. He's got an entire goblin army. He's got
but they hang out with him in a lounge singing all day. They're not, like, ready to fight. They're not, like...
Right.
They're not ready. Like, if he didn't know that a girl was on the way and other guys just showed up ready, like, they were done. They had to get tipped off.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. They probably do need to have an earlier warning system. I think that just, like, one goblin that has to
motion detectors.
run.
Yeah, what is it? Was like Paul Revere's got to ride a horse all the way? Like, it's wild.
It was like Goblin Paul Revere.
Yeah.
Gobbler Revere.
I was trying, but I got nothing.
Yeah, that was worse than whatever you had, so I tried it anyway. So, anyway, the Goblin forces mobilize, and they're under attack. They're getting shot at by cannons. They're dodging. The cannons actually shoot goblins in spiky balls, which is Super Mario Brothers to me.
It's so great.
And Ambrosius gets really scared, and Didymus is on his back, so they turn and flee. They get separated from the group. Didymus is like, hey, can we talk about this? Could you stop running away? And Ambrosius has nothing to say. He's like, I'm out of here. And he's like, if you don't stop, I won't feed you anymore. And, of course, Ambrosius is like, throw them brakes on.
Funny, though. I think they actually have a brake noise in there. I think there's like a Looney Tunes like,
There are a ton of things I really appreciate about the way they did Ambrosius. Like, sometimes it's a real dog. Sometimes it's a puppet that looks nothing like a real dog. And he makes horse noises.
Dude, yes. There's one scene where he's a little scared. He's peeking from behind a wall, and it is just clearly a stuffed dog. It is so obviously not the dog. Kills me.
It's so good. It's so good. But so Didymus turns around, and then he is confronted with a horde of goblins, and he bests the red goblin, the one in the bright, shiny red armor, so you know he's tough. He's probably a sub-boss. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He bests him in a joust, and then he's kind of flees away. We cut back to Ludo and Sarah and Hoggle, and they're kind of sneaking around trying to get away from these goblins. They're chasing them, so they go into a house. Ludo can't fit the door, so he just rips the side of the house off, which is kind of great.
Tries to do a Santa Claus move there. It's not, I don't know if it's smart, but it kind of works.
It kind of works. And so Sir Didymus is left by his mighty steed, Ambrosius, who like runs in the house and somehow locks the door behind him.
How? I got to know how a dog locked the door. Even the stuffed dog couldn't lock the door.
He's got those whittle paws. He used his whittle paws. Well, Didymus turns around and he's surrounded again by these goblins. But about this time, Ludo has gotten to the top of this house. And, there ain't no other way to say it, brother. He calls down the hammer. He sings like just an entire avalanche full of rocks into this town. And it's murdering goblins left and right.
Dude, it was at this time that I said, oh, that's right, he can do the rock stuff. I had forgotten. It felt like a kind of one of those deals with like Lord of the Rings where all of a sudden Gandalf can talk to eagles at the right time, and you're like, okay. It kind of felt like that, but I had to remember, I was like, no, we've established that he can do rock stuff. That's all I needed.
He's done rock stuff at least 3 times in this movie when it was needed. I mean, it's well established. Okay, it's canon.
It's a good job, but it's been a minute and nothing this profound, and this is good rock stuff right here.
This is a good rock. So he is like, it's like a superpower at this point because these rocks are like chasing people down, like goblins down, and like smashing them. They have a goblin that's just equipped with a suit that's a machine gun, and he gets squashed by a big rock as the crew is kind of running by him. Well, as all of this pandemonium is happening, they manage to make a sprint and they get to the castle. And they get into the entryway of the castle, and she's going to find Toby, and she says to them, she's like, I have to go on alone from here. And they're like, but why? And she's like, that's the way it is. And they're like, oh, well, if that's the way it is, but should you need us And she says, I'll call. That's going to get called back later. And so she runs upward into these stairs into, again, we see all of these things in her bedroom earlier. She's got that staircases going everywhere, Escher art.
Which is a poster on her wall.
It's a poster on her wall.
Yeah.
Nice. So she runs into this room, which has been created in a studio somewhere. And so Goblin King's in there. He's singing stuff. Baby's moving around in there, little Toby. And
happy to see him moving, to be honest. It's been hours.
No one's fed or changed him, though, so he is ripe.
He is ripe and grumpy.
And very grumpy. So she is kind of chasing Toby around. Of course, the Goblin King, he attacks her with just a heart-wrenching song. It's so sad.
Yeah, dude, but I gotta say, this whole scene where, like, the baby is in this MC Escher nightmare, and he's going on the steps, and he's getting close to the edge, and you don't know which way is up or down, spiked my anxiety. My worst thing, my daughter's the clumsiest human being on the planet, and I don't even like to see her get near the edge of carpet, because I'm like, I don't know what she'll do. She could jump. It could be great. Who knows what could happen. And she's in a play right now. She's got to be like on stage, and I'm so, because she just runs right up to the edge of the stage spinning, and I'm like, you're gonna fall off the stage. And just watching this baby get dangerously close to the edge of these steps, and her realizing she has no like good plan to reach it, I could watch. It was worse than the snake for me. I was watching between my fingers.
Oh, man. Well, I think Sarah must have agreed with you, because she does love her baby brother after all of this. And
she
so
just doesn't want to see a baby die. I don't love that baby, but I don't want to see it die. I would save it.
Okay, fine. Maybe love will grow. But she does leap from the top of the stairway, falling many, many, many tens of feet to keep the baby from coming to harm. But as she's falling, everything around her sort of starts to fall apart. You see stone staircases going everywhere, and she lands on a platform for the final boss battle with David Bowie's wiener. Because it is okay. This scene, he's wearing these like white pants and this like feather cape, and you're like, dude, ease up a little bit, okay? Save some sex appeal for the rest of us, man.
Dude, it's intense. You like somehow that's the biggest rock on screen, given all we've seen in the last 10 minutes. Like, it's crazy.
Well, one of the things that I love is how they kind of have this double sort of meaning to the dialogue here, where he's like, I'm a nice guy. Like, I've been nice this whole time. He's like, I'm exhausted from trying to live up to your expectations. And I think that kind of ties into the idea that he's this thing in her imagination that she's making act this way. And he's like, I don't know, how you want me to be. And he shows her this crystal ball, and he's like, I remember I told you this would show you your dreams. You just have to let the baby go. And which is literally, that's where she lives, is in her dreams, right?
Yeah.
And then she says, what does she say, Travis?
I don't know.
She says, it's that edible, Travis. You need to not have those before you watch a movie. But she says the lines that I said she was going to say when we first started covering the plot. But she remembers those lines. But the most important thing, the thing that gets her back to reality, is she says, you have no power over me.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
It's the opposite. It's like not powerful.
That's right.
You have no power over it. But it's fine. Yeah, so everything sort of dissolves, and she ends up back in her house. Jareth turns into an owl and somehow gets out of her house. I can't remember how he gets out of the house, but he does somehow. And she runs up the stairs to find Toby safe and sleeping in his little bed.
Are you believing that, though, after all you've been through today? Are you taking that for granted, or are you just checking everywhere for goblins? Because I don't know that I spend the rest of my life not expecting there to be a goblin somewhere watching me.
Yeah, possibly. But what she decides to do is she picks up the stuffed animal that was hers and places it in the crib with him, giving it to her baby brother, who she loves, Travis, who she loves very much, and she just risked her life to save in her imagination. And she goes back into her room. Her parents are home, and she starts packing away her mother's things. She's putting away the pictures of her, and she's putting away the script to the Labyrinth. Like, she's ready to kind of move on from maybe that chapter in her life. And Ludo, oh boy, I'm getting a little choked up just talking about this. Ludo appears in the mirror and he says, "Goodbye, Sarah." And I was like, this, I should not be crying right now. Why is this getting me, Travis?
I thought this is proof that she suffers from severe mental illness and she should not be left alone with children.
Yeah, that's the other thing, that she's so wrapped up in her like illusionary fantasies that she doesn't realize that she's endangering the baby. Yeah. That might be a
She's
problem.
like, I've grown up. I'm now in my mom's bedroom talking to imaginary nice goblins. This is not like it was before. I've grown up.
This is much better. But I did feel a little sad from boy Ludo, like he was never gonna see her again. I got a little and then like Didymus shows up in the mirror, and every time she looks back, they're gone, you know. And then Hoggle shows up and he said, you know, "Should you need us?" And then she has this monologue. She says, I do need you. Like every now and again in my life, I'm gonna need you. And then again, every once in a while, she wants to be able to enjoy this fantasy world, you know. And she turns around, and then it's just a goblin party. It's on, everybody. This is the happy ending that I wanted, not Ludo making me cry, bro.
Dude, it's a good time. I mean, part of me's like, that's a lot of cleanup before your parents get home. They're gonna find out there were goblins in the house. They don't come clean. Some of them were in the eternal bog. I mean, there's. Oof. I just have anxiety the whole time for other people. I'm just worried that they're going to get in trouble, and I'm like, that sucks.
If the goblins aren't real and they're only in her imagination, it's probably fine. And she's a teenage girl. Her room probably needs cleaning already anyway.
That's true.
Outside the window, the owl is watching. As it flies away, we get a little snatch of Magic Dance, the David Bowie song that he sings in the Goblin Castle. And that's it, man. That's the plot of Labyrinth. God, I love this stupid movie. I love it so much.
It's got a lot going for it. It does have some nice allegory. It has some, you know, the plot is written for a younger audience to digest, but there's a lot of themes in here that you can really only unpack after, you know, maybe living a bit of an adult life and kind of seeing reflections of your younger self and what you've become. And but more than anything, it's just fun to look at, dude. There's just so many great practical effects happening in just about every shot. Something neat is going on. Everything is so well thought out, and just I could watch it again and again and probably glean some new fascination about something on screen that I didn't notice before.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't beat those practical effects. Like
so good.
Even with CGI, they just feel better. They feel more real for some reason.
That's true, man. And it helps a movie like this retain so much of its magic. And I think that's true for this movie and The Neverending Story and a lot of those 80s things, because, you know, the practical effects we just said, they don't age out. And if you see like some of the movies from the late 90s and the 2000s that tried to carry this charm, they're so dated almost immediately that they don't really hold that. It's hard to cherish them the way that these can continue to live on, man. Jim Henson for life, dude. It's a shame we lost that guy too early.
Yeah, you just wish, but you know, the guy, he created so much great stuff. You just kind of wish for his friends, family, maybe he was around a little bit longer for sure, but also for the rest of us too, because his creative output was so incredible, man.
So good.
Well, who cares what we think, Travis? How about some of those post-credit reviews?
Yeah, this is what people are waiting on, what other people thought. And
right.
I got a nice smorgasbord here. Now, we got a 4.5 star from Kate. Now, she watched this September of 2023. 4.5 stars. Her not going inside to meet the worm's missus pissed me off. And I thought the same thing. I agreed when I was like, that seems rude. That's not a good way to start.
I mean, it's kind of rude, but she's still like her bratty self at this point. She hasn't like realized that other people have feelings yet. Or worms. She hasn't realized that other worms have
That's true. We haven't hit the character arc yet. I guess that's true.
Yeah, so we'll let that go for now.
All right, we got a 4.5 star. Now, this is actually a user on Letterboxd that I follow. They review a ton of movies. They're very popular on social media for their movie reviews. Demi, and I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna try it. Demi, Adajigbe. Okay, try it at home if you don't like it. This is from October 2021. Demi says, okay, you've all been going crazy about this movie for decades now, and still no one ever told me about the solid 20-minute run of audible toots from prosthetic buttholes at the Stinky Fart Swamp. It's true. I think that part's I'll say it, grossly overlooked. I don't think a lot of people are bringing it up when they talk about the Labyrinth. If someone had told me years ago, it's like, oh, you haven't seen the Labyrinth? I'd be like, nah, it doesn't seem like it's for me. And they're like, it's got a butthole swamp. I'd be like, let's rent it. Let's get it right now.
Fair. You know what? That is missing from a lot of the criticism of this film.
See? Help it market. Okay. And then we've got a 1 star. We're going to dip low here. We got somebody that didn't like it. Ooh, we got 1 star from Dylan H. Castellano, September of 2021. They say, when David Bowie shows up, the girl doesn't scream at the top of her lungs. And I find that quite hard to believe.
I mean, to be fair, yes. If a owl turned into David Bowie in my house, I don't know. I'd be screaming pretty loud, if you know what I mean.
If David Bowie showed up looking like Tina Turner in the middle of the night after I saw an owl go through the window, it's too much. Too much.
Wow. It's just too much of a good thing. Is that what it is? You like owls and David Bowie and Tina Turner.
I mean, I do think I would be startled, even though I could be startled and then immediately excited, but I would be startled.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair.
All right. We got 4 stars here from a one Colin the Dude. This is from January of 2016. So this is an old one, but a good one. He says, David Bowie tossing toddlers while singing the magic of dance with a goblin puppet choir is one of life's great pleasures.
Amen. Right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nailed it. If I could do that once a day, like if I could live in my own fantasy world and just walk into a castle full of goblins and David Bowie singing a song, that'd be pretty cool.
Right? I agree. Up next, we got, this is a recent one, Kev. This is from about a week ago as of this recording. This is from March of 2024, March 6th. This was watched by Jackson. You know he's cool because he spells it Jaxon. 4 stars. If she wasn't the most dramatic person in the world, none of this would have happened.
I mean, I can appreciate that, though. You know, she's got a flair for the dramatic. You know, I, as a young 16-year-old, was often running my lines in the park for plays that I was in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That
it was a lot of fun.
And you turned out okay.
Oh, sure. Everything's fine. Everything is just...
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, see, it's a normal thing to do. It's what normal people do.
Yeah.
Good job, Kev. Up next, we got, this is from 2017, November of 2017, from Sicily. 3.5 stars here. Weird movie, but if Jareth came up to me and said to fear him, love him, do as he says, and he would become my slave, my parents would have to report me missing the next day because I'd be in the castle getting that goblin.
Travis, this is I know I've gotten a little off the rails this time. I was in an emotional place because of this movie, but come on, man, come on.
Cuckoo.
Jesus.
All right, well that's it for people that we don't know, but we have someone we know who submitted a review for this, Kevin. Our good pal Berger, good friend of the network, good friend of the show. He submitted a review for us to read. I'd like to hear what he said.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Berger, he's got a good mind for things. Very clever guy. So
strong brain.
So he was nice enough. He's got a review of Labyrinth here for us, and I'm gonna do my best, Berger, to read it for you. I remember seeing Labyrinth in the theater when I was 8 and falling in love with the colorful characters and my hero, Jim Henson's immaculate puppet work. I also remember Jennifer Connelly triggering a sexual awakening in me.
Wow.
I watched it many more times on VHS throughout elementary and middle school until I became too old for such childish indulgences and moved on to Jennifer Connelly of Career Opportunities and The Hot Spot. I then remember revisiting the movie, possibly, allegedly, under the influence of some substances or other, and my sexual awakening reemerged for David Bowie. Yeah. The film still mostly held up, though the Escher sequence was a bit boring in my brain fog. Now, as I watch the film with my own children and find my new sexual awakening triggered by Hoggle, okay, Berger, a circle closes, and I pass down the love for this movie to my children so that they can enjoy the 10 minutes they pay attention to out of every 30 do their ruined attention spans. 4 out of 5 stars and 3 awakenings. So nice. Thanks to Berger for that, man.
Yeah, dude. I haven't seen Career Opportunities or The Hotspot, but The Hotspot was directed by Dennis Hopper, so I'm interested in how that turned out.
Oh man, that's got to be
but not
wild.
enough to watch it. Not enough to watch it. It had a budget of $10 million and a box office of $1.2 million, so it did not do great.
Ooh, wow. Well, speaking of, man, on a budget of $25 million, Labyrinth went on to gross $34 million worldwide and cement its memorable visuals and melodies in pop culture. For a kid, the great characters and those amazing puppets, along with an interesting and relatable heroine who goes on a quest and meets every challenge without the help of some stinky dude ruining her hero's quest, is great even today. Considering the film's just plain weirdness and darker tones, or perhaps because of them, over time this movie, originally considered a quote-unquote box office flop, grew to be cherished and loved by an entire generation, and apparently me now. Consider for a moment, Travis, that Bowie is almost as well known for this movie as his music. All right? Now, Labyrinth has inspired comic books, action figures, stuffed Ludo toys, and more nostalgia for 80s kids than you can shake a hoggle at.
I wish they'd shake a hoggle at a video game.
Right?
Come on.
I'd be the first one in line, man. Well, hey, Travis, you often come up with hints for the next movie that we're going to cover. You got one this time?
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not just the color, okay? It's the key ingredient to a shocking revelation about the future of food.
Oh, wow. That is really good, Travis. That's a good clue. I don't think we need to say anything else other than that, man. I think you nailed it, buddy.
Well, I think we have to say this part though, because if you enjoyed this episode, you might like our other you might like our other podcast. No guarantee, but you can catch Kevin over on the Tabletop Gaming Podcast, Blue Peg Pink Peg. Please check it out. You can find me on just a heaping pile of podcasts here on the Polymedia Network. If you want to keep this podcast rescuing baby brothers, go ahead, support the Polymedia Network on Patreon, and you can give us a like or a share out in the wild. That'd be great. We also have, we've got to thank our pal Harvest Black for that goblin crotch-bumping theme music, and just like our Uncle Doug always says,
it's only forever, not long at all.
Yep, she had a reason to be concerned. Honestly, it was a rough syphilis week.